Morning guys, and welcome to a new London vlog. I'm still in London, which, do you know what, it's so weird doing all of these London vlogs because I feel like for the last year since I've been doing YouTube, I haven't done so many London home-based vlogs in so long. And I feel like I'm running out of ideas. I feel like I'm showing you guys the same thing over and over. It's like me in my kitchen, making food, and then going into town. But do you know what? It's the regular comforts and the regularity makes me so happy, and having routine. Like, I get to go to the gym every day. I get to go to the heath every day. I just feel so stable and so happy this way. I don't feel like tired out. I don't feel exhausted. I don't feel like I'm being pulled back and forth. Like, I feel really, really good. We are on our way to the gym. I'm going to get a little workout in before we get on with the rest of the day. Today we have a meeting with a client, and then we have to do a load of admin stuff. I've honestly got to get my SHIT together, as I have so much vlog footage to upload so that can be edited, and then just other admin bits, getting posts together. Oh, I have to shoot a post, and then as we'll be in town, I might go and have a look into some shops, as I really want something new. I'd love a little, I don't know, bash. Should we go shopping?
Sure.
Budget approved. I don't know if we should drive into town. It's up to you. We're not gonna exactly leave things in the car, because leaving things in the car in London, people will break into your car. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it's like to live in London. You can't even leave £1. I think I've said this so many times. You can't even leave £1.70 in your cup holder, because someone will break in and steal that. But yeah, we'll go into town. Let's take the tube. I can carry my looks because it's not like a big bag or anything. And then we will shoot first, do a tiny bit of shopping, go to lunch, and then carry on shooting. But first, we've got to go to the gym. I know that Stanley Cups went viral a few months ago, and I didn't understand the hype. And I got gifted a Stanley Cup from a client, and oh my gosh, it has just made me drink so much more water. I add ice into this cup, and it fits just so perfectly in our cup holder. I feel like a little American queen going around sipping on my sippy cup. Yes, I call it my sippy cup. Sippy cup, sippy cup.
Sippy cup, sippy cup. No, guys, he'll do it, but...
By the way, guys, I'm fully aware that I have a spot on my lip, and yes, it is white, but the spot cream that I used on it last night will not come off for the life of me. It is fully attached itself onto this spot. And I don't know what I've done to deserve it, because I've been so good. So I had a very productive morning. I managed to get some work done. The gym was so good. I managed to push myself with weights which were a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. Did a good amount of cardio. So I'm really, really happy with that. And we just got into town where we're gonna go and check out some shops before our meeting. And then I would love to buy something nice for New York. And also it's Rosie's birthday whilst we're in New York. You guys have met Rosie on my vlog before. I wanna see if I can find her a birthday present, but it's fine if not. And then we have our meeting, and then we're gonna shoot. It's also a blue sky day for a change. This never happens. You can see You can kind of see the blue skies trying to crack through. I honestly love London when it's like this. It's such a good vibe. Let me show you guys what I'm wearing today. Okay, so I've gone for my Patent Black Lady Dior bag, my first ever gifted Dior bag, and I'm completely obsessed with it. And it's always my go-to bag when I don't know what bag to style my outfit with. And my Ganni blazer, which is so nice because it's fitted in at the waist, so it gives my look a little bit more shape. But it's very cold, so I'm wearing my Uniqlo gilet underneath. My COS long sleeve, my Prada belt, which has the logo here. It's so cute. Oh, my label's sticking out. High-waisted COS straight leg jeans. These are one of my favorite pairs of jeans, and my Dior cowboy boots. This is one of my favorite shops in London, Our Legacy, and I'm obsessed with this t-shirt. Just got back from central London, and honestly, I don't know how I used to spend so much time in central London roaming around. When Bash and I were younger, we used to go there all the time. We would literally just like go and hang out, go to shops every day for like the whole week, and I don't know how we did it because just one day in central, I am dead. I actually couldn't wait to leave. I was like, this is so hectic, I need to get out of here. But that makes me wonder, am I ready for this countryside life? Probably. Our lunch was so fun, and the food at Kettner's, it was so good. Honestly, I've never been there before, and it was really, really tasty. I didn't buy anything. I wasn't feeling it. I know that the 2 pieces that I tried on in Our Legacy were cool, but I just didn't think they were like special enough to buy. And I didn't need any like basic tops. Like if I needed a basic top, maybe I would have got the one with the collar, but I wasn't in the mood. In the car on the way to the gym, I was in the mood to go shopping, but then I actually got there and I was like, this is so long. I much prefer shopping from the comfort of my sofa online. And also, I'm not the biggest fan of trying things on. But I had my lovely lunch meeting with COS, and they kindly gifted me some pieces. So I'm gonna show you what I got gifted. I haven't even seen it for myself, so let's have a look. I believe one is for me and one is for Bash. In here is like a leather jacket, I'm guessing. Ooh, so that's definitely for Bash. This is for, so you know that really stressful trip that I went on to Rome? It's part of that YSL Beauty trip, and then I went from YSL Beauty in Paris to Rome, almost missing the show. These are the pieces that were shown at the show, and this is so cool. I can't wait to see Bash in this. So the leather is like, it has loads of slits in it, which is very unusual. That is really cool. Oh my gosh. This was my favorite piece from the show we watched. So this is how it looks on the runway. Oh my God, look at the bottom. It kind of balloons out, and then it has a hood. Oh my God, I can't wait to shoot this. We're actually going to Greece in June, so this is gonna be perfect for my trip to Greece. How exciting. That's so generous. That's so lovely of them. Send me on holiday so I can wear that, please. I'm gonna run downstairs, start making a spag bowl, because this is something I've been craving for so long. And we have all the ingredients in for it. So yeah, let's go. I'm so sorry guys that my little unboxing was so quick and short, but honestly, all I was thinking about at the back of my mind was spag bowl, spag bowl, spag bowl, spag bowl. So I chopped some onions, chili, chestnut mushrooms, and I had leftover courgette. And the amazing thing about spag bowl is you can just throw in a bunch of vegetables and it's just going to be so tasty and healthy. So these are just things that I had left over in the fridge. So I've just put the onions into the frying pan. I'm gonna put so much love into this spag bowl, you do not understand. And when you put love into a dish, it tends to taste 10 times better. So we have some Dalesford organic minced beef. Look, I don't want to sound really snobby, and I obviously understand that I'm quite privileged that I'm able to buy really good quality meat, and not everyone can do that. But when it comes to eating meat, I do think it is important to have good quality meat, just because you don't know what these farms are feeding their animals. So just knowing that it's from a good place and the animals have been treated nicely, or they've been fed like a normal diet, just knowing that at the back of my mind is just so good. And also I'm very, very picky with meat. So if it's come from a good place, if it's organic, I know that what I'm putting in my body is better for me than a really cheap meat, which an animal has just been like treated bad, or like factory farmed chickens, for instance. Not good, not good. And so Dalesford, I trust you guys. Dalesford is like a really, I'd say a bougie farm here in the UK, and they have some cafes in London, and they have like a whole staycation place in the countryside, and they just have really, really nice meats and olive oils and yogurts, everything. Like, so it's a real treat to be able to have Dalesford produce, and knowing that the meat comes from a farm, like a trusted farm in the UK, is really, really nice. Do you think I should use the whole thing?
How many grams?
Yes, 400.
Yeah,
Okay, we're using the whole box, guys. Okay, so once your onions, as you can see, are starting to go golden, you can add in the rest of your vegetables. I would usually cut these mushrooms much, much smaller. However, Bash doesn't want chestnut mushrooms in this spag bowl, so I've made them big so he can pick them out. And also the courgettes. If you have carrots, you can add really small cubed carrots. People like celery. I don't personally like celery in my spag bowl. Yeah, there's loads of things that you can add into this. So let's let this all melt. I can't believe I just said let's let this all melt. If a professional trained chef is watching this, please forgive me. I don't know what I was thinking. Let me rephrase that. Let's let this all fry to a soft consistency. If you do not own a garlic crusher, then I highly recommend getting one, because it makes life 10 times easier, and my personal pet peeve is chopping garlic. I really do not enjoy that. So just having a garlic crusher, it literally does the job for you. You just do that and it comes out really just so minced. It's amazing. So yeah, yesterday's shoot went really well. It was amazing. Everything was perfect, from the video footage to the photos to the behind the scene pictures. I could not have been happier with the shoot. I think I was on like a little bit of a high that evening, but I was also exhausted, hence why I didn't vlog after the shoot. Honestly, I couldn't get off the sofa for the rest of the evening, and I didn't even make dinner because I was just like, I cannot physically bring myself to cooking right now. It was a lot. It was tiring, but it was so successful. Some of you were asking me like some questions about content creating, how I got into content creating. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I was a model for about 6 or 7 years, and then lockdown approached, COVID days, and all the photography studios closed down. Clothing brands weren't really shooting e-com at the time. E-com's when you shop online and you see the models wearing the clothes. So then brands started asking me to shoot from home, and that's kind of where my eyes were open to the possibilities of creating a career on social media. So I really enjoyed shooting from home. Bash was getting involved. Bash was kind of taking my pictures for me. He was helping me style the pieces, and we just really enjoyed being our own boss. Yes, with modeling, you are your own boss, but most models have modeling agencies, so they kind of control everything. For us, it was just fun doing absolutely everything ourselves. And then, yeah, Throughout COVID, I started posting even more on Instagram, and it was really successful. I was having fun with it. But one of my biggest regrets was not using TikTok during this time period. I feel like a lot of people really flourished on TikTok during the lockdown period just because people were at home, so people were getting crazy TikTok followers and crazy engagement. Same with YouTube. But I do believe everything happens in the right time for yourself, and it just obviously wasn't my time for TikTok or YouTube at that point. And it was also new to me. Like I wouldn't have guessed that people were making a living from social media. So after lockdown, we were introduced to someone who had an agency. So then Bash was asked to become like the head agent in London, as they were opening a London branch. They were based in Paris at the time, which was really cool. And then I was signed as a talent, and they really helped me build and understand the workings of social media. They helped me build my page. They introduced me to some clients. So that was really, really successful. But Bash and I were doing a lot of groundwork, and he was still shooting my content. So we just thought, like, you know what, we don't need an agency behind us now. Like, we can do this ourselves. So we decided to leave the social media agency, and we decided that it was just time to do everything us two. And here we are today. We are now hiring our own staff. We have a video editor. We had an assistant as of last week. So we're slowly building the team, and that's just super exciting. It just shows that we're kind of like, we're excelling in what we do, and it's amazing that we're able to hire people and get help, because which company has just 2 employees? Not a lot. The big companies that are doing amazing, they hire people, and it makes sense because now that we have help, we can focus on like the creative side and get more work done. So it's really, really exciting. Sorry guys, back to the spag bowl before I carry on my content creation journey. I'm gonna season my fried vegetables. They're finally melting. Joking. They're finally reducing. Oh my god, this smells insane. I'm gonna add some oregano. I'm also going to add a tiny bit of chili flakes. And now time for the meat. Usually I don't like showing raw meat on camera, but there's no hiding this, guys. I'm sorry. Also, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you can do this with corn mince. It's just as good. I'm really sorry, guys. I had to turn the fan on, otherwise the house is just gonna stink. I would usually use tin tomatoes, like some really fancy tin tomatoes, but we don't have any, sadly. So I'm just gonna use passata. And by using passata, it means that the food's going to cook a lot quicker because it's already quite saucy. As you can see, I'm like emptying it there. And whereas with tin tomatoes, you have to wait for the tomatoes to break down. Whereas with passata, it's already pretty much broken down. And it makes it even more saucy. Bash really likes his pasta sauces very saucy, so he'll be very happy with this. This is looking so good. Okay, I'm gonna use more. This smells insane. I wish you guys could smell this through the camera. So some tips for anyone who wants to get into content creation or wants to be an influencer. The advice I would give, where do I even start? So when we were in the early days of content creation, I had a clear idea in my head of what brands that I wanted to work for. So for instance, Dior. I really wanted to work for Dior. And now, today, I am officially an ambassador for Dior. So what did I do in order to attract attention from Dior? I would dress in the style of Dior. I wasn't really wearing any brands that were conflicting with Dior at the time. I was using Dior beauty products, which maybe that got some attention. And I was just creating like a really cool aesthetic on my feed post in the style of these high fashion brands that I love. I would also create shoots which I would invest in. So for instance, I'd rent a location, I would hire hair and makeup, I would style the shoots with pieces that were really cool and high fashion, as I was trying to attract the high fashion brands. And yes, I was lucky that I had some savings from my modeling days, but this was something I was prepared to invest in because I was like, I really, really want this to work, and it definitely paid off. So yeah, investment. But I'm not saying, guys, go and get an investor. Just do things like order stuff from websites, shoot them, and then send them back. Just make sure you keep them in really good nick. That's what I did. I would order things online and then I'd return them the next day after I shot them, because I wasn't really in a position to be paying £500 for a pair of shorts. Let's add some fresh basil into this sauce. For me, fresh basil really makes the flavouring top. So I'm just going to add them in whole, and then I'm going to take them out once the sauce is done, because you don't want to really chew on a soggy bit of leaf. So that's like half a bunch I put in. Maybe that's too much, but I just love the taste of basil. Another piece of advice for anybody trying to get into this industry. Look, this is going to sound really cheesy. Stay true to yourself. It's really hard because Instagram has an algorithm and TikTok has an algorithm. So they choose what goes viral. It's completely out of your control. So whatever you want to post, keep posting it. And people say post like 2-3 times a day. I think that's crazy. But I would say try and post at least 3 times a week at first. And if you have the time, then maybe bump it up to 4 times a week. But I personally don't think that you have to post every day, 3 times a day, because people are going to get bored. People are going to get bored seeing the same thing and seeing your page pop up. So that's how I feel. This is from my experience. So if I post twice a day, my second post isn't going to do as well as my first, because my followers have already seen me post that day. By staying true to yourself, I mean, look, we post film photos. I don't see a lot of accounts posting film photos. Most people are posting iPhone photos, which is totally fine, but film photos is what makes me different, and I don't want to be like every single influencer content creator. This is why we did the shoot yesterday. It's something completely different. We've put love and effort into it, and I just want to like maintain that creativity, because that's what fulfills me and makes me feel good. Whereas if I don't excel and if I don't keep creating, I'm just going to get bored of what I do if I just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So for us to have gone out, rented a location house, rented lighting, hired hair and makeup, had assistants on set, it just made everything so fun, and the dynamic was just really something special. But maybe that's because we all knew each other and we're all friends and had worked with each other before. But there's just something about being on set and having a good time and creating amazing work. So yeah, I will always put a lot of creativity behind my work when I can, just to fulfill that creative streak that I have inside me. But don't get me wrong, people who post the same kind of content, it does well for them clearly, but for me, I just want to shape things up, mix things up here and there. Sorry, I am just not getting my words right today. I think because I'm quite tired, and also I'm so hungry. This is looking and smelling insane. I think I'm going to boil the water for the pasta and get the pasta boiling. I am currently doing no gluten whilst I can, and it's really paid off my skin. Yes, I had that spot on my lip, but I am on my period, so maybe that's why. It's a hormone spot. This is the best gluten-free spaghetti I have ever had personally. It's from a brand called Rummo, and their normal pasta is amazing. So yes, that I would highly recommend, guys, if you're gluten-free like me. In this industry, it's also important to be kind, polite, and punctual. Nobody likes people being late, and be nice to everyone, because at the end of the day, you're trying to work in fashion, and look, it's just fashion. We're not saving lives over here, so it can be quite easy to get caught up with in like bitchiness. People talk about each other behind their backs. It can get very political within fashion. So I'd say me and Bash, we try our best to stay out of all of that. We just try and be nice to everyone, because at the end of the day, karma's gonna come and bite you right back in the ass. If you give content creation a go and you just find that you're not getting anywhere or people aren't engaging, do not worry about that. Keep going, because brands, surprisingly, they don't really care that much about engagement. They care if your aesthetic matches up to the brand. They care if you're creative. They care if you create and support the brand. So do not worry or get upset about likes and comments, because if you're really good at what you do, that will shine through, and the whole engagement thing will come later with time. So just don't give up. Oh my god, this sounds so cheesy, but it's true, guys. Take risks in life and with work. I'd say that's something that I never really maybe used to do, and maybe my upbringing, that was never really a thing to take risks. My life was very safe, and I feel like you're never going to grow or develop if you don't take risks. For instance, by me and Bash leaving the agency, that was a huge risk. Imagine if we stayed at the agency, because at the back of our minds we were thinking, oh, we won't get the clients because we're not with an agency anymore. Old clients aren't going to reach out to us or necessarily work with us because we're not part of an agency. But leaving the agency was the best decision we could have ever made. More clients wanted to work with us. We started working even harder because we were like, right, we're in this together now. We're doing this on our own. We've really got to make this. And by taking that risk, just paid off completely. Even the simple fact of me and Bash working together is a risk. We're in a relationship, we're a couple. Could we work together? Could work get in the way of our relationship? But this was a risk that we were willing to take because we were both enjoying what we were doing so much. And yeah, that's it could be quite daunting. It definitely takes certain personalities to work together. I'd say us working together has brought us closer. We're like a tag team. We're building towards our future and our life. So all the jobs that come in, we just want to take it so seriously because we want to do the best that we can, because we are creating our future together. So yeah, it was a risk, but for us, it's one that worked. I'm not going to lie, at first it was hard working together. It was hard to figure out a medium of how we could communicate. So we found ourselves kind of talking to each other we were being quite snappy with one another, but it literally took one conversation and we sorted it out. And from then onwards, the next 2 years, it was smooth sailing, and it still is. And also, by working with Bash is amazing because I get to see him every single day. Whereas when I was modeling, I would go months without seeing Bash, and it was so hard, and it was so lonely traveling around the world all by myself. And now that I get to do it with him, it's just a dream come true. Bash has decided to jump in and help out. He's going to make the salad, but the one lettuce gem that we have left over is so pathetic. It's like there's just nothing on it. So I don't really know how much salad that we'll have with this meal. With all my meals, I always make sure there's like a salad or greens with it, because it's important to have a balanced diet, and it's important to have your greens. Okay, the spaghetti is done, so I'm just going to drain it. My spaghetti is al dente. I can't have my spaghetti any other way, because if it's overcooked, it gets mushy, so it needs to have that bite to it. Oh, it's all looking so good. Okay, well, let's serve it. Yalla. Okay, I'm just going to mix the pasta into the sauce. You guys can watch this. This is quite a therapeutic thing to watch, actually. So let's just empty it all in. Oh, it's too much pasta for the... Okay, that's just way too much pasta in the pan. Sorry, guys. Isn't that so nice to watch? And doesn't that look so good? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more pasta in. I do have some parsley, Bash. Do you want some parsley? I'm just gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to keep it from being stuck together. Oh my God, this is so nasty. Cooking and filming is so hard. It really, and you know me, I'm not really good at multitasking. So to speak and cook about a subject is really mind consuming for me. Okay. Did you chop the parsley? No?
No, I'm just throwing in some.
All right, babe. Beautiful.
Do you want me to...
Look at that. And don't worry, guys, I haven't forgotten about the parmesan. Okay. Our neighbours have chickens and you can just hear them clucking away. Okay, I'm going to garnish my pasta with some parsley. Bash already added the black olives. And not forgetting Parmigiano Reggiano all over. Sprinkle that rain, baby. And that is my spag bowl. 10 out of 10. Okay, let's do a little taste test. The spaghetti bolognese is amazing, but the spaghetti could have cooked a little bit longer. I really like this mince. And the flavour of the sauce is just so good. It's quite rich, but I like it when a bolognese is quite rich. Guys, I'm sorry, I just feel like there's no nice way to eat spaghetti unless you cut it up, but I like my spaghetti being long and sloppy, so it is what it is. Honestly, I feel like I have been on my feet all day, so it's time to end the day doing a session with my compression socks. Compression socks, I mean compression boots. So if you watch my last vlog, you'll see that I purchased these and you'll also understand the reason I purchased these. If you don't know, I was told by a professional that I have stage 1 of lipedema, which is built up stubborn fat within your legs. And if you don't look after yourself, and if you don't eat right, and if you don't exercise, it can get really, really, really bad. Your legs can get even bigger. Mine isn't too bad, but over the years and during my modeling days, I did have relatively bigger legs than everybody else. So I'm just hoping that these compression boots, I hope that they help and just kind of gets the blood flowing with my legs, because my circulation is so bad on top of everything else. Also said in the other video that it's like, the feeling is like when you get a blood test and they wrap that thing around your arm, like that big strap, and it gets tight and tight and tight, and then they take blood. That's what it feels like, but on your legs. And honestly, it feels so good. And after a long day, it's great for recovery. All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna pop the TV on. I don't know what I'm gonna watch, but I'll find something. And then I'm gonna probably have a really early night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. Have you ever seen me look so girly in your life? I spent like an hour doing my makeup because I wanted to make sure my makeup was perfect for this Dior beauty shoot that I have coming up within the next hour. We need to leave ASAP, but Bash isn't back from the gym. And for once we have blue skies, and we never, ever get blue skies like this. And I know I always talk about blue skies, but it's honestly so crucial for creating content. If I don't have good lighting, then my content isn't going to be as good as I want it to be. So my first outfit for this Dior beauty shoot is this beautiful For Love and Lemons dress, but I've had to tie it in at the waist at the back because it's a little bit too big for me. But I was so obsessed with this dress. I was like, okay, they're sold out in my size. I'm going to buy it in a bigger size anyway and eventually get it tailored to fit, but I haven't done that yet. We are shooting in Notting Hill. Notting Hill is very iconic for a London location. It's where that movie was filmed. Lots of tourists go there. I went vintage shopping there in one of my vlogs. It's just a really beautiful place. But honestly, I do not want to miss this good weather, so Bash needs to hurry the up. He's going to get beatings when he comes back. No, I'm joking. But whilst we wait for him, let me show you which bag I'm going to style this particular dress with, and then you'll see the other two looks on set. So I'm going to style this dress with the Dior Jolie top handle handbag. I believe this is a size small. I've seen in my previous videos, I was using this in a bigger size, but I think this size is perfect because you can definitely fit your phone, your wallet, your keys, your lipstick in it, everything you need. And this whole pastel palette, nude/pastel palette, is such a vibe for the spring weather. I'm obsessed. And then I've just styled it with some black cowboy boots, but that kind of breaks away from all of the light colors, so I don't really know if it works very well. Okay, please excuse the mess on the sideboard, but we are kind of setting up all of our photography stuff because we do want to shoot some cute pics as well. But there you go, you can see that a little bit better. Doesn't really work, does it? Damn, I don't really have any light color boots. I have my Acne boots, but they're very, very chunky, and this is quite a sleek look, and the cowboy boots are sleek. Do you know what? Maybe I'll just shoot this so you don't see the shoes. My cute little earrings are from Miss Soma, I believe, and then I've put some really cute bows in the back of my hair, and they're attached to a hairband, so it makes it really easy to just place into your hair rather than trying to like slip it in with a slide. These bows are from H&M, I believe. Yes, H&M. And makeup. I should have done a makeup tutorial, but I kind of thought I was in a rush. And when I rush my makeup, it doesn't go as well as I want it. And I thought because this shoot was so important that I needed to just take my time. But I did use a majority Dior Beauty as we are shooting Dior Beauty. And I'm so excited. So the whole concept of the shoot that we're filming, so it's a reel. And it's 3 outfits, 3 lipsticks, and I've kind of styled each outfit to each lipstick shade and case. And the cases are so cute. So guys, we made our way to shoot, and I'm sorry I didn't take you guys along with me. Just something so random happened. We shot the first look, we got back into the car, and it wasn't quite what I had in mind in terms of lighting, background. We shot a flower shop and it was a really cute shop, but it just wasn't the aesthetic I had imagined. And then we got back into the car for me to get changed into my other look, and then I put on the other look, and I just didn't feel myself. I was cold. I started to feel self-conscious, and this is never, obviously I feel cold all the time, but this like self-conscious feeling that kind of swept over me had never really happened before, and I just felt like shit. I don't know what happened. I got really, really upset. I started crying. Bash was comforting me. He was telling me how good the shots looked, and I just didn't, I don't know, I just got more and more upset, which is why I didn't vlog, because I was not in the headspace to vlog whilst I felt so weird. Maybe it's a form of anxiety. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm hormonal, I'm on my period. I just burst out crying. I was like, I don't feel like doing this. And in the 3 years of me doing this job, I've never cried on set. I've never felt so self-conscious. I've never not wanted to shoot. So I don't know what happened to me. Maybe I'm approaching my 30s and I'm just becoming an emotional wreck. But yeah, you've never seen me like that on a shoot.
No,
either.
never.
I don't know.
But it's bound to happen at some point. With what you do, you know.
Yeah. With this job, you're bound to feel self-conscious. You are comparing yourself to people online, other creators, other influencers. And I just want to produce the best work that I can. And just because something didn't go to plan and I didn't look the way that I had hoped, because before we left, I spent so long doing my makeup and my skin looked so good and I felt really good about myself, and then I looked back at the footage that we took and my skin just looked so bumpy and so dry and not how I imagined it, and it was just because of the light. So guys, please don't be fooled by social media. In some lights, some people look amazing, but then in reality, there are many flaws. And people use filters on videos to give them that airbrushed effect. People get surgery, people get Botox. I can proudly say I've never had any Botox and I've never used filters on videos. I just always make sure there is good light, which makes me look good. But because we didn't have it, I was just so depleted. Is that the word I can use? Like, yeah. Oh well, these things happen. So that is why I didn't vlog any of my shoot. I can't put up the content that we made anyway because I wouldn't have posted it yet by the time this video goes live. But we did get the job done eventually. After we shot by the flower shop and then I started crying, we went home. Bash made me a brunch, which was really sweet, and I kind of recouped. I redid my makeup because my eyes were bloodshot red from crying, and I'm one of those people when I start crying it lasts the whole day, so my eyes, so it looks like I've been crying all day. And yeah, put some eye drops in, redid my mascara, redid my fake freckles because there was like long marks down my face. Yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. I don't like feeling like that, and I really don't like feeling self-conscious, but I just don't know what it is because I feel like there's nothing to be self-conscious about. I don't know, it's just a mix of things, but I'm over it now and I'm in a better mood. But yeah, these things happen, it's all good. We're gonna head home. What are we gonna do now? I'm gonna get into cozies, so we'll get into cozies together, and I just feel like sitting on the sofa with my heated blanket in a ball. I definitely think it's to do with like my hormones as it's the time of month, and these things happen, and hopefully this doesn't happen again. And just to be grateful for what we do have, like the fact that I live in London and we have locations around London that we can shoot in, and I just have to deal with the bad light that we have and not let that upset me or affect my content creation. This honestly sounds like such minor problems, so I do sound like a little bit of a brat, but look, it is what it is, and I want to produce the best content that I can, and I want to make the clients happy, and I want to make myself happy. So I guess maybe I had a bit of a creative block today. That's also never really happened to me before. Outside the flower shop, we felt rude to use their location for a shoot, so we bought some flowers. How beautiful are these? These are my favorite kind of flowers, but I cannot believe how much they charged us at World at Heart for these flowers. At Columbia Road Flower Market, I think these are like, for a whole bunch of 3, they're like maximum £15. And so I asked him, I was like, oh, so how much is it for a head? And he was like, £15. But in my head, I knew I was going to buy 2. So I was like, oh, it's just going to be £15 for 2. Obviously, it wasn't. It was £15 per head. So I paid £30 for these, when usually they're a lot more cheaper. So that's another thing that maybe sparked me off. No, I'm joking. But, you know, it's Notting Hill. It's the fancy side of London. So they're going to charge higher prices. It's a little bit expected. I'm just gonna take off the bottoms and then put these into a vase so I can look at them and enjoy them. But I go to Norway tomorrow, so I'm not gonna have long to enjoy these beautiful flowers. But Bash will be here to look at them, so he'll love them and care for them and water them. Well, I can tell you that this is very fancy paper that they have used. Oh, cute. Okay. Sarah, stop thinking about the price of these flowers and just enjoy them. There you go. How beautiful. Now I have 2 vases of flowers to enjoy. I'll show you guys. These have blossomed and they are so beautiful. And I can't believe how long they're lasting. Usually I feel like flowers at this point are losing their petals, but these haven't dropped just yet and they have just maintained such beauty. And then we have these. I actually forgot the name of these. They're one of my favourite flowers, but I can't tell you what they're called. I have it at the back of my head, but I can't remember. Okay, dinner was so good. It was very minimal and very plain for us. We're trying to like take a little bit of a step back from these really extravagant lunches and dinners that we usually make. We are always making a big dish, like a big spag bowl, which has so much seasoning and flavours. And we're incredibly lucky that we are able to eat such delicious food, but we just kind of felt like something a little bit plain for once. So we just had some fried chicken, not the kind of fried chicken you guys are probably straight away thinking about, but just like seared chicken with parsley and lemon. And then we had a salad which had feta, olives, and a lemon dressing. Okay, I'm kind of realising how much we love lemon. And then we had some halloumi cheese on the side, which was so good. When you just kind of like grill it the way we did. Oh my God, look how much makeup I'm wearing. It tastes so good. Yeah, it was really simple and I feel nice. I don't feel too heavy, and there's nothing worse than feeling so heavy in the evening that you can't sleep, and that happens to both Bash and I. Now I'm just winding down for the evening. I'm in my cozies and then I'm gonna go upstairs and carry on watching Shogun. We have the last episode to go. It's so epic, by the way. If you haven't seen Shogun, it's a Japanese series, but with some English speaking actors. They've really like depicted the Japanese times back in the day so well. It's when like lands were being discovered. There were just, it was so crazy, and it's so crazy to think that places all the way back then hadn't been discovered yet. So it's about like a British man going to try and find land in Japan. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really interesting, and it's got amazing actors and great reviews. So if you're into fighting series, I would highly recommend the Shogun. And it's very, very complicated, so you have to really, really concentrate and to understand what's going on. Otherwise, you're just going to be so confused if you're checking your phone midway and you miss out on a piece of information that can just kind of ruin the whole thing for you. Even I'm a little bit lost, but I'm still really, really, really enjoying everything. But I know 90% of what's going on. I feel a lot better now, just knowing I've completed the project that I had to shoot today. And also I've kind of like told myself I'm gonna take a whole weekend off from social media. I'm going to Norway to see my family, and it's perfect because my grandma, she doesn't have any Wi-Fi, so I won't be tempted to do much work. I'm just gonna read, I'm gonna go for runs, and I'm not going to have any screen time whatsoever. I'm not even going to bring my vlogging camera because family time is quite precious time for me, and I don't want to have my family on camera. I don't want them on screen just because, you know, it's privacy, it's my family. Of course, I'm happy to be on YouTube showing my life, but the rest of my family won't particularly want me to show them, so it's fair enough. I also keep thinking back to my Thailand holiday, how happy I was those 2 weeks, literally not having any social media and no screen time. Don't get me wrong, the fact that I'm always on my phone and always using it means that I do like it and it is work. But when you're on it so much, too much of anything can make you sick. So maybe that's kind of like a part of why I got so upset earlier. I just felt so overwhelmed by everything. So it's just really, 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 really good to like take a step back from everything. In the evenings, I've really been enjoying the Sarah Chapman overnight facial. It's such a light gel consistency. Well, more of an oil. A light gel oil, and it feels so soft. It's so soft and silky. It's got like a little minty hint to it. And I tell you now, this is why my skin is glowing, because of this overnight facial. And you just rub it in and you leave it. You wash it off in the morning. Oh, that just feels so good. Okay, guys, I'm going to put on my pajamas and get ready for the evening and just snuggle up with Bash and watch TV, because that's what makes me happy in the evenings, and I'm already so tired. So I just want to chill. I haven't packed for Norway though, but I'm going to do it in the morning. I hope that you enjoyed this. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that has subscribed, everyone that comments. Like, it's just, honestly, it makes me really smile to see your hilarious comments. and all of the lovely messages that you all send. Let's get to 10k subs by the end of this year. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for next week's vlog. Bye.